Well, here is an surprise project. It is electronic steering lock for Mercedes-Benz, and there is some kind of part number, and my working car made me that worst case scenario that I inserted the key, and all what I heard was some kind of relay latching, but it doesn't open the steering lock until I managed to half hour insert the key in and out, in and out, in and out, and then the steering lock opened and I managed to start the car. But there is a interesting mechanism to take this steering lock apart of the car, that if the steering lock is in locked position, you can't take the locking pin out. So lucky me, I managed to get it open, and I immediately take the pin out and drop the lock itself off from the steering column, that I am able to inspect it without breaking it brutally. And what I did already before I decided to try a little bit document what I am doing, I desoldered the pin header here and the motor pins there and there. And now the PC board is basically free, and here is the motor terminals, what should drive the motor and use the lock pin itself. And then I have a separate part, the PC board, where is the sensor, what is sensing, are the locked or not. There seems to be some kind of probably Hall sensors or something. I'm not sure, am I able to focus the camera or the light that way that we can read the numbers, but yes, I can. And there is the CPU, so the brains of the electronic steering lock. And I don't know what that is. I have to check the datasheet what it is doing. But pretty basic circuit board. No, nothing fancy. And there is two relays, as we can see, because there was the motor pin and it goes through to the relay. So those two relays are doing the switching, which drives the motor closed or open position. So if I have to guess, there is two options. I might have a bad motor. It is pretty common in the Mercedes cars, what I have been seeking on the internet. Or then I have a relay fault here, and it is not driving the motor. But first, I would like to try to drive the motor and see what kind of current it is taking. And for complete that task, I can use my lab power supply. And see what happens. Nothing. Let's try it another way. Nothing. I have to increase the current limit of my power supply. Wait a moment. Let's try with half amperes. I heard the noise. Let's try it another way. No, it is not happy. I have now set it 800 milliamperes. Yeah. It locked. I have a hard time trying to film it. And open. Ding, ding, ding. Let's try a little bit lower voltage. What happens? Well, 9 volt. Did it. Let's try 6 volts. It is not opening. 7. No. Oh, it is stuck. That was my problem. It gets stuck in the locked position, and now it is not opening. That happened also when the unit was installed in the car. I will try a little bit more amperes to get more torque from the motor. Yeah, it's better. So there is some kind of latching. I'm now driving it with 5 volts. If I just keep opening, it is latching to open and it skips. But another way, when it is going to be locked, it is driving itself to complete end. And yeah, now it opens and closes. But if I drive it in the closed position, in the full voltage, it will get stuck in the open position. I will try to lower voltage more. So 3 volts is turning my motor. But there is not enough juice to get it open. 5 volts. Yeah, now it's open. Okay, I will try it with 12 volts. It is open. If I close it, and now I'm trying to open it. Oh, really? It opens. Yeah, hard to tell now what there is wrong. What I have been reading on internet, the motor is getting kinda bad, and I have a feeling that another people have been swapping the motors of those units. I saw the selling listings where you can buy a new motor for the steering lock unit. But what I decided to try now is that I will just drive motor just a little bit with tiny voltage and see if the resistance reading is changing. Because it should be pretty constant. But it is not. 1.5, 1.4, 1.5, 1.7, 1.3. Now it is in the end stop. I have to swap the leads. There is tiny variation. Yeah, half an ohm. Really, it is kinda a lot. What I have seen here now, I can assume that the motor process are probably a little bit weared down. I would try to somehow open the motor that I can inspect the motor brushes, that what kind of condition they are. But because the construction is made kinda anti-theft in the mind, the whole thing is assembled with those hammered in pins, so it is really hard time to open these. I think maybe the press drill is best option to drill out of those pins. But then I have to somewhere seek the new pins. Oh my god. Let's try it. I will get in the garage the broken bolt extractor tool. We could try if it is enough small that it can fit inside of that 2-pin there. It maybe then can be extracted with the bolt extractor. Or at least we can try. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, there is my smallest bolt extractor thingy, and I don't know what I am expecting to happen, and will it even fit there? It feels like that it is not going to fit. Yeah, not even a chance. I have too big tools for that task. Yeah, but that is what we are going to do. We will drill open that pin, and those two, they are holding the end cap where we are able to somehow see the motor. And then I want to drill those out to get opened the worm gear that we can lubricate it. And hope the best that the unit is working. Okay. Here is 2 locking pins. One came through for that hole, and another rised up with the drill from those holes. And I didn't even try to drill those yet, because more I am interested is the motor, and we can already see that there is movement. If I insert my screwdriver there and give a tiny pull, it is moving the end cap. But one hole is probably still a little bit sticky because it is one pin still barely inside the hole. But I'm still trying to pry the cap off. If it is coming. And it was. Nice. So, interesting what we found. some kind of end cap. Oh, it is driven there. I see. There is that another pin kind of fall down there. When I try to drill it out with the drill press. How I am getting it backwards to get it completely off. I'm not sure am I able to even do that, but I am willing to try. It feels to be really stuck there. Yeah, I will put the plastic piece in the vise and get the tiny punch and the hammer and try to punch that pin out. I'll be back soon. Yeah. Now there is just there is tiny bit old pin left, but there is that what was driven out. And in case you are thinking why I am spending my time with this, because it is off, I have no steering lock, it should be, I have no problems. But here in Finland, you are not allowed to take the car on the road without that fucking thing. Because we have an annual inspection for car, and inspector tests the steering lock unit, and if the steering lock is not working, you are not allowed to take the car on the road before you have been fixed this thing. And the funny part is that the new parts are crazy expensive, and even the repair service for the locking devices is so fucking expensive, and I'm now trying to handle a little bit save the costs here. And now I'm thinking how the motor is held, or is it held there at all? Is it held only with those connections? I don't know, really interesting. But now it looks for me that I have to undo the cable terminal to get it lifted up, to get those joints off, that I can try to extract the motor. What is my main suspect here at the moment? Let's try carefully pry the cable connector upward. let's see what happened. It seems to be going just fine. Yeah, it is going, but the motor is now kind of stucking. I have at the same time to make sure that the connections are breaking. Yeah. Now I can lift off that part. Probably. Yes. And now, maybe, just maybe, the motor will slide out or something. Yes. And I think if I want, I can put grease in there. Where is the worm gear? That I don't have to open that part. Let's put that aside and let's just focus now on the motor itself. And it feels really just generic fucking toy car motor. But it's the way how everything works these days. You take the radio controlled car parts inside of your real car, and then you can get surprised that you will evenly have problems. Let's try to pry it open, because the end bearing cap and the brushes should slide off if I pry open that and that. It is the only thing what is kind of keeping the end cap in its place. It is surprisingly tough to try. To pry it, but it is kinda working. Yeah. When you get it kinda coming, then the rest is getting easier. I think it is enough. Can I take those away? Of course, if you are having that much work already, what I did at that moment, the best option is probably just swap the whole motor, because I saw these on internet, but I need the car at Monday, so I have now no time. Oh my fucking god, seriously, look how dirty that is. Oh my god. That's bad. We don't even have to kind of try to guess why the motor is not working. There is a lot of still left the carbon brushes, as you can see. They are good, little bit weared down, but the car is not new. But that is what we expected. I'm trying to now somehow focus the camera, that slip rings part. How cocked and dirty the slip ring is. It can create a situation if the motor stops in that bad spot. It is going to never turn again. I will use the air to blow out all the dust inside the motor and the carbon brush parts, and then let's see what we can do with the slip ring. Back here again, just compressed air. The end cap came really nice, I would say. Almost like new. The motor. It's so clean. It seems that I can almost lick it, but I won't. But now we have to focus on those slip ring things. There is insulator. Let's try to not lose it. Like Samwise Camg. It is easier to get the right dose with the injector. Okay, for one. And let's see how it looks. Do we have to take the more actions for it? But it is already so much better. But the part problem of those tiny motors is that the carbon collected in that cap between the copper slip parts. And it is problem because then the carbon is kind of sorting out of those two pads and the motor is not working right. So now we have to take the tiny needle. I don't know where my needles are. And whoop, I'm trying carefully to dig out shit between the copper parts. And I have to do it 3 times. I can try to... No, I can't show you how much there is gunk because it is all flying everywhere. That is last. Yeah. There is gunk. A lot of gunk. I want it out and I want it to be clean. I could try the metal. No, it's bad. Bad brush. Maybe the toothbrush is best. Yeah. It is starting to look really good. And there is a nice little detail there that they have been soldered in the pads. So I have to check that the solder joints are not cracked. And a little bit more polishing for those parts. I will try it with Dremel. I'm not sure is it working or not, but let's try it. There is something happening. I will get a little bit more water there to get it wet. Now it is a little bit wet. Perhaps it will polish a little bit better. I would say it would work. It would be really nice. Little bit discoloring, but nothing serious. I will polish it a little bit more. How we are now? I would say near mint. It's good. It's good. It's good. So for now, we can put it back together. Oh, insulator ring, or two of those. Oh my god, there was two, and I'm not sure how they were orientated. I think I have to try. Probably I have to try to do the video check that which way those parts go. Wait a moment. Yes, I did a video check, and that is the right way how they should go. And for now, I just have to. Oh, that the first insulator part is bigger than that column, so I have to kinda stretch the process somehow a little bit when I am inserting it back. Wait a moment. Yeah, I will try it by just using my probe needle. Oh. I'm betting that there is some easier way to do it. But I think I can try to do it just how I want. And for now, I think I have some kind of misorientation here. Yeah, that's the way they should go. That is free. That brush is free. So So everything should slide back together. And there is some minor detail. There is that kind of plastic notch what needs to go in the slots, and it will fit only one way, that you can drive the locking metal things back into place. But before I'm locking it in, I want to measure the ohms to see if there is some kind of improvement in the resistance, because we measured it before. Okay. Not looking promising, because it is so fluctuating. There is a lot of end play in the motor. Let's try to measure it same way what I did before opening. So I will gently turn it with low voltage, and let's see how is the resistance changing. 1.4, 5, 5. By the way, it seems to be turning really nice. And now, after short time of tapping, we have pretty constant reading. Not much changing. Let's try how low voltage we can go to. 2 volts. It is turning. I am now using 0.8 volts. it is turning just great with 1 volt. I will leave it there for a while to just get the process little bit getting the better contact, and I will do to check the resistance reading after a while. Okay, I swapped the leads to get easier power input for the motor. But it is basically turning just fine under half a volt. And to be exact, it is now taking exactly half a volt and 113 milliamperes to power. And they are kind of numbers what I am now trying to remember. I will put the motor on the vise and tap those metal parts back in to get it fully assembled, and then do the test run again and see if it's still spinning as freely as it is spinning now. Yeah, I think it is done. The motor is still spinning just fine. And it's really hard to try to measure because that winding resistance really depends. What point it is. If I push or pull the motor shaft, it will change the resistance. But I can assume that it was so dirty, that motor part, that it should be better what it was. And the worm gear part looks to be, in my opinion, oiled enough, so I am not bothering to put any oil in there. Oh, there is tabs what should click in the screw holes. But interesting, because there is also that kind of wider part, and I can't figure out how it will align with that motor. I would say it won't. But it It clicked in. It aligned. And motor is not turning. It is now locked in as it should. It is shame that I don't have the new motor for the unit. I would suggest to get the new motor instead of that cleaning service, but if you decide to take the cleaning as I did, it is totally doable. And if you are kind of stuck somewhere with your car and you can't get spares, then of course the repair is always repair. Yeah. For now, we could try latch the lock in and out. And see what happens. Oh my god. I did it in the wrong order. Yeah, I can't put it back together now because those metal connect parts should go in the grooves in here. It's annoying. So I have to again lift the connector. As I did before. Pay attention that the joints are getting loose. So do not follow my lead. That is wrong way to assemble the unit. Try to not do same mistakes what I do. But perhaps that is the power of the internet. You can try to learn from my mistakes. Yeah, they need to go first there. Otherwise, it won't work. Like that. Chup, chup. Then another one. Back there. Something like that. Then they have to go in and the motor needs to go in the right orientation. How I am doing that? Because you really can't see what you are doing. Or you can tiny bit peek on those holes to see that the motor is going right, and in my case it is not going right because that one connector is so bent. I need to somehow bend it, but yeah, now it would work. I need to get more light to see there and there that they will align probably. Oh, I have a light. I have light here. That's good. And the another is also. So it should. It should just go. Like that. It's in. It's totally in. And now the connector part. It's in also. Yeah. I need something to put on the holes to lock it in place, but probably I will put there some kind of screws. But for now, we can try to test the unit, what it is doing, and will it again lock itself. Let's try it with 6 volts. Okay, it is locked with 6 volts, and it will also open. It's good. Probably before I full send it, I have to put some screws there, because it was now trying to pop that cover off. But probably I can try to hold it with my finger. Let's see what happens. I will try to keep it in one place. Ooh, it's really tight. Not good. And it's also stuck. Oh, crap. That was bad idea. Don't do it. I don't know what it's right way. Okay, I'm stuck. Because now it is pushing the cap off really hard. And I think that something is going to break. I have to undo that part again. To prevent anything from breaking. And now I have to allow the motor come off. That was bad idea. It pushed so hard. It pushed it out. Let's try. Can I turn the... No. Which is right way? Can I kind of move it in the unlock position? Yes, I can. Unlocked. Okay. Don't drive the unit if this cap is not fully assembled. Yeah, back here. I managed to put the screws in place, and it is now more easier to open if you need to go under the plastic cover. If the unit example fails again to me, I can just unscrew the bottom part and take the motor off and turn the wheel by hand to enable to engage. But there is interesting working principle, because in the opening side you can run the motor in the open position and it is just clicking. But if you are turning the motor in the lock direction, it will first get the kind of higher point here that it is locked, but the motor still runs for a while before it ends for the hard end stop. And if that happens, the motor kind of locks itself with friction, because it kind of drives the end of the fucking stroke, and I have hard time to get it backwards again. I'm not sure how it is going to work in the car. That there is the sensor set. That should the locking pin move only that much that it's reaching the sensor and then stop, or will it drive on the end stop also in the car and get stuck? That's something what I need to investigate. I have to check it. And I watched the videos. You don't have to take the PC port off like I did. You can kinda work out the whole connector with the PC port. But that way it was more gentle way for the PC port for me. So I decided to desolder it before doing more investigation. But I think I am going to now just put it back together and try in the car. What would it do? And if it's driving it to the end stop same way as it do now here in the bench, then I have to figure out somehow how I am going to prevent that situation. But at least it is now kind of serviced. The motor part, at least. It would be ideal to change the relays, but I don't have them. So we do what we do and what we can. I am going now to check it in the car, what it is doing, and I will come here to close up video. if it is working or not. Alright, we are here in the car, and there is the steering lock unit, and I'm going to insert the keys now. It opened, and the keys are turning just fine. And when it is locking, it drives really fast, and it is not end stopping. It is really short, maybe 1 second run. And I think it is probably working now. Yeah. That's good. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.